But I thought it might be good to look at this article because this is written by Katelyn Burns, who has been on this channel before and who I trust a lot and who is great, and you should check out her work. Look at this. MSNBC has a trans person who's a columnist who writes things. Like, in the UK, we could never. Anyway, so she's obviously writing this for a cis audience. So this is a bit of a distressing thing to read as a trans person, especially if you're an American trans person who relies on the state to provide your healthcare. So maybe just skip ahead 1 minute in this video if that's you and you don't want to deal with the stress of it, because there is a what you can do at the end. But she says, imagine going to the doctor being told that the medication you've been taking for years now is illegal to prescribe you. The doctor can give it to other people who are different from you, people experiencing depression, for example, or women going through menopause, or cancer patients, but it's no longer allowed for people like you. Given no other options, you go home. After a few days, you start feeling the initial effects of living without the medication. Your brain gets foggy, you start disassociating. A few months in, your body starts to change. Man, it genuinely makes me feel ill. If you're a woman, that means thick, coarse hair starts sprouting on your arms, chest and face. Everything gets affected. The way you smell, the way your body distributes fat, the way your hair on your head grows or doesn't grow. The people in your life stop recognizing you, and everyone else in society no longer sees you as who you really are. The only way out of this new reality is likely getting your meds on the black market or dying, because your body can't produce the hormones you need. That's I don't know. I don't want to say it's an extreme representation of detransition, because if anything, that's really... Like, that isn't... Just describing the horror of how bad it would be worse than that sounds. And it's what some people have gone through before, and it is terrifying, the prospect of it, knowing that the state has some kind of power like that over you. Like, if you're a cis person... Imagine if the state just passed a law saying, we're now going to inject you with hormones. Just you. In your little community, you're only one of your colleagues, just you. And it's going to ruin your mental state and your body permanently. And it's going to get worse and worse every day. Like, that's what it is. Like, forced transition is as bad as forced detransition. They're the same thing. Like, literally exactly the same thing. So describing it in this way, I mean, it's true. It's distressing to read it like this. But it's like not even distressing enough, really, to communicate how bad it is. I'm not criticizing Katelyn here at all. Like, she's a professional writer, and I think she's gone for her target audience and has hit it. I just mean reading it is distressing, but I'm not trying to say like it's an overly graphic representation, because it's like underly graphic. But this is the reality for a lot of people in the world, is your choices are suffer indefinitely / die, or obtain your medicine illegally. And I just think I know what the majority of people would do. I mean, it's not like hormones are expensive to produce. They're not, like, I know in America the healthcare situation is just absolutely crazy, and it probably costs, like, I have no idea. If you're getting an insurance company to pay for hormones monthly, it could cost anything. I don't know what Americans pay. Do you pay like thousands of dollars for that? Like does the insurance company pay thousands of dollars for that? Who knows? I pay for my estrogen privately, and it's like 30 quid or something for a month, 3 months, I don't even know. But that's a massive markup. That's paying for like the private doctor and the private prescription and the postage and the markup that every single person in the way takes, and the actual production of the hormones. If it was just produced by the state for the citizens, it would cost like pennies. And I'm paying for gel because that works best for me. But if you're just taking pills, by far the cheapest one to produce, pennies per day, which is quite possibly what you can get it for on the black market. So that's what people are going to do, isn't it? And they're not going to be regulated. They're not going to be necessarily safe. They're not necessarily going to be the right dose. They're not going to monitor their levels. And I'm like, there's no point appealing to transphobes or gender criticals because they want us to suffer. So if you say, well, what about these people who are taking hormones without support from their doctors, risking their health just in order to live? They'll just be like, good, I hope they suffer. But I hope that centrists or allies who aren't aware of the state of it can just see how bad this is. Because yeah, like it's really bleak. This is a case, and it's similar for things like abortion stuff. If you ban it, it will carry on at exactly the same rate. Like, it's not gonna. No one's gonna be like, oh, they made trans healthcare illegal. Oh, I guess I'll just detransition and live my life as a man then. Oh well, we lost this one. Like, it's just crazy. People are just inevitably going to go underground, and then everything gets riskier. And it's the same with abortion. Like, why would, if someone doesn't want to have a baby, they're not just going to be like, well, looks like I'm just going to have kids then. If they'll just get an abortion illegally in a riskier way, less regulated. Yeah, it's just really grim. So it says here, news broke of a manager's amendment to the budget that changed what was initially a ban on trans healthcare for youth on Medicaid to a ban on adult transition care. A change to one line of the budget bill removed the distinction between children and adults, thus expanding the ban to hundreds of thousands more people. I think she does say here 275,000 people in the US who are affected by this, which is a lot of people. Yeah, and it covers everything from surgery to hormone therapy. Yeah, and here she's saying about how if you've had GRS, then without hormones, then you do just get seriously ill because your body doesn't produce any and you need some. Like, all humans need some levels of hormones to function. So I think she does say... Right, okay. No, I did want to read out this bit. Oh, God. My question to everyone reading this is, when is enough enough? We've moved well past beyond any well-meaning, reasonable concerns and into genuine, life-threatening government quashing of trans life. Trans people like me understood that this was always the end game, but the far-right Family Research Council said as much when they laid it out for their blueprint for the government to mandate trans people out of society in 2015. We were talking about this at the time. I know Katelyn was, I was. We've been saying this for ages. Gender critical people want to eradicate trans people from public life. They want to eradicate us, just full stop. They want to create a world without trans people in it. And they'll say to you, I don't want to do death camps for trans people. They would if that was the only way. But they know that if they make if they make it so you can fire trans people just for being trans, if they can kick you out of your house just for being trans, if they can make your healthcare illegal, they don't need to open death camps because we will be homeless and suffering and dying of medical conditions. They've eradicated us from public life. And that's what we mean by saying eradicate from public life. And all these people have been pushing this. All the ones saying they have reasonable concerns and they think that Emaine Kelly, who's boxing the Olympics, shouldn't be allowed or whatever, who isn't even a trans person. All the same people, when they're saying all this stuff, the whole time, people have been like, oh no, they just have reasonable concerns. We've got to hear to all sides. Well, there is a real issue here that we've got to discuss. And, just because they disagree with you, doesn't mean you have to silence them. It's been clear from the start that the gender critical movement wants to wipe us out. And just every single year, they've just progressed a little bit more. And everyone's been saying reasonable concerns the whole way. And now it's got to the point where the US government is trying to make transition healthcare illegal, or ban it for 275,000 people, which is, like Katelyn says here, gonna kill some people and directly endanger their lives. At what point do you agree that we were just right all along? I don't need you to apologize to me and say, "Oh, Katie, you were right all along. You're a hero. You're Cassandra or whatever. Like, you've seen the future." I don't give a fuck, mate. You can still hate me if you want, but I want you to give up on this ridiculous idea that it's just people with concerns who are leading this movement, that they just, oh, I don't care what adults do, but they just need to protect children. Like, give up on this bullshit. They want to wipe trans people out, and they just started at the edges and they're working in. It was way easier to ban trans people from the Olympics and ban puberty blockers for trans kids than it was to go for a full all-out ban trans people from public. But they're getting there. They're not going to stop before then. No one with reasonable concerns is going to get to a point where they're like, right, we've banned trans people from sports and we've banned trans healthcare for children and we've removed their legal protections from sexism. That's enough for me. We'll stop there. What are you talking about? Just listen to what they've been saying for over a decade. Listen to what other things they're advocating for. Look at what positions they're actually pushing for. Just pay fucking attention and stop being reactionary. Like, reactionaries often means like right-wing politics or whatever, but I think a lot of centrists are reactionary because the right-wing person like Helen Joyce or whatever, or the Family Research Council, will say they want to eliminate trans people or reduce their number or whatever, and then we'll be like, they want to eliminate trans people, they want to reduce our number. And then in direct reaction, just because a trans person's speaking up or a feminist is making a point or something, all the centrists will be like, whoa, calm down, you're being so hyperbolic. We need to hear from both sides, just genuine concerns, blah, blah, blah. That's a reactionary position too. Just stop being reactionary. Stop, getting offended because a trans person's called you an idiot, and just look at actually what they're doing and ignore whether you've fallen out with some trans person on Twitter or not. Think about what the moral position is and just take that regardless of who's upset you. And it isn't this. This is evil and you know it. Okay, so I thought there was more of what you can do, but there's a thing. It's time to put a stop to this. Keep the government out of private lives and the medical decisions of trans people. Our lives depend on it. As far as I understand, this hasn't passed yet. So you should, sorry that I haven't informed you to the best of my ability here today. You should definitely go and understand what level this is at and call up someone, your representative or whatever, and get them to push back against this, because this is horrific, and it is not the final step. And get the fucking centrists to wake up, for God's sake.